Let's get started. How about some Dragon's Dogma 2? Did that come out today or something? Oh yeah, I posted another pic of my. This is the last thing I'm going to show you before we move on to like serious news. I posted yet another picture of my fridge, which always gets people going, gets people very excited, sometimes gets people very agitated. But yeah, here it is. The fridge of a healthy American man scares you. This is from years ago. As much as I miss my parents, I love having my fridge back. This was from a while ago, and this was from this morning. Okay. To which I said, once again, the fridge of a healthy American man would kill the average European person. Dude, this is what I'm talking about. If you want the gains, dude, if you want the gains, sodas are the way to go. I am such a soda boy. I can't believe you kept the expired Sunkist. It's not expired. You were talking about caffeine-free Diet Coke a while ago. That shit is weird. Yeah, no, I actually found out that I'm wrong, and caffeine-free Diet Coke is fine. It tastes a little weird, but it's like fine at night if I want a little sippy. If I want a little sippy sip of diet soda, but I don't want the caffeine because I'm going to go to bed and it's bedtime. It's bed by time. Okay, it's night time, and I'm going to get tucked in. I'll have a caffeine-free one. Little sippy sip. Bro, what do you eat? Just straight chicken, which you can't see here because it's in the shelves underneath. Also, I mostly just order, as you guys know. You can't have caffeine at night? What are you, 75? Yes. What? I don't understand. If I have caffeine at night, then I stay up. The Loki Prime ad, it's not even a ad. Mike brought it last time he was here, not yesterday or 2 days ago. Oh yeah, I saw this. Hey guys, opinion, The Zone of Interest, a Holocaust movie without Jews. So weird that this movie came out 4 months ago, and all of a sudden CNN Opinion is writing a review about it now. I wonder why. I like that they're not even hiding it too. Like, there is no hiding this, okay? Straight up, there are people who are just openly being like, no, I hate that you said what Israel is doing is wrong. Okay, did you see the community note? The letter is a simple Google form that does not confirm or ask proof that the signers are Jewish creators or professionals. One of the signers listed by Variety is a SAG-AFTRA member named Riverto the Sea, River to the Sea. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Variety is so stupid for this. Bro, if you cut the DoorDash savings from the delivery fees, the delivery fees would put you in the next tax bracket? What do you mean? There's no more tax brackets for me. I love that they use the Google Doc as a source. Response to that. Starship Troopers, a patriotic movie without question. Read more from Peter Rutland here. Yeah. Anyway, Variety is not stupid. They're a trade publication owned by Penske. This is all intentional. No, they're stupid for like doing propaganda that is not even that good. That's why they're stupid. But I'm telling you, the more Israel's actions become impossible to defend to a broader public that sees what's going on and recognizes it exactly on certain terms, the more the ultra-Zionists are turning into barbs. It's the same barb principle that Anthony Fantano talked about, or when he talked about Kanye West. It's like the fandom leaves, it dissipates, and the only people that are the loudest, most outspoken defenders at that point are the most insane. And that is where we are with Israel. Israel stands now that are going to be outspoken and like defend Israel are the most insane, the most unhinged people. Like, all you have left is going to be people that literally write a very obvious review of a movie 5 months after, because Jonathan Glazer, as a Jewish director who wrote a Holocaust movie, who directed a Holocaust movie, who won an award for won an Oscar for a Holocaust movie that Steven Spielberg declared to be the best Holocaust film since his own Schindler's List. Okay. Now he's not Jewish enough, or now he's not a real Jew. Now he's actually a piece of shit for saying that like what Israel is doing is actually quite analogous. You know what I mean? That's it. It's really fucking stupid. It's really stupid. It's really crazy. Look, all I'm saying is I want to see Jews in a movie about the Holocaust. Can't believe that's what this article is going for. Yeah, the entire point. First of all, as far as I understand, there are some references, or there are some instances where they show Jewish people in the movie, but that's not the point. The point of the movie is to literally not show the classic shit that you have seen a million times over. This is, as far as I understand, God, I need to watch it so bad. But like the whole point of the movie is to not directly show you what is going on, and instead show you how normal people, seemingly normal people, will turn a blind eye or sometimes directly support exactly what the fuck is going on. You know what the fuck is going on. Anyway, watch Schindler's List or Boy in the Striped Pajamas if you want a Jewish perspective. That's not what this movie's about. Yeah, and it's not just about showing what happened. It's showing how it could happen. Thank you. Exactly. Like, that's the whole point. In the critique, they literally say it's weird that the father fishes up a piece of jaw downstream of the camp. I had to do research on that. Yeah, one of the most radical elements of Zone of Interest is its anti-plot. The Husses think they have substantive concerns. Can Hedwig impress her mom? Will they have to move? But to us, nothing matters more than what we know is going on across the wall. We know there's going to be resistance. We even see it, but we're never given the reprieve of a competing point of view, only the literal photo negative of our protagonist's experience. It's basically not understanding the plot and refusing to understand the plot because you're a reactionary. You're a goddamn bigot. No subtext for me. I have a baby brain. Please, what the fuck is going on? I don't like that I don't like that you made this movie. Except, here's the reality. It's not even about the movie. It's not even about the movie. It's about what he said after. Okay? And in many ways, what he said after perfectly fits within the confines of the movie. The movie is literally about like how normal human beings, seemingly normal human beings, can like overlook such severe evil, which he talked about in his acceptance speech. And now people are trying to bury him. And I guess, like, you know, I don't know. Like, if I was in this situation, like, I would just do my very best to shut the fuck up and be like, oh no, those are the other guys. I actually differentiate from them. I hate Netanyahu. I think Israel maybe has gone too far, and let's return to normalcy and have an apartheid state that we can, you know, defend in the Western world. But like, instead of doing that, these have gone crazy. They're like, fuck you. Fuck you. You're gonna fucking see the apartheid. You're gonna like it. We're gonna do genocide. You're gonna say that you like that genocide. Shut the fuck up. Ah, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You're like losing your mind. What the fuck are you doing? It's like, at least have the shame. At least have the fucking shame and decency to take a fucking breather and shut the fuck up and let the professional propagandists and the liberal Zionists in the United States of America do the fucking whitewashing for you. No, you gotta jump the gun. It is crazy. No humility whatsoever, just pure arrogance. And that pure arrogance has not stopped since October 8th. It's crazy. It is so, like, I've literally said this. I've never been, in all of the 10 years that I have covered global conflicts, that have covered socialism, capitalism, all the comings and goings in American politics, I've never been more vindicated than everything I said on October 8th coming directly to the forefront over the course of a couple months. Like, it's insane. I told you, it's this arrogance, it's this hubris and this arrogance and the racism that allowed October 7 to happen. And it's that very same arrogant, racist hubris that they're still running with 5 months later, 168 plus days at this point of death and destruction. 75 years of occupation aside. There's a long history of fascination with the aesthetics of the Third Reich, as in the films of Leni Riefenstahl. Back in 1975, Susan Sontag wrote a perspective essay condemning the fetishization of Nazi paraphernalia. The zone of interest will certainly appeal to those who admire the aesthetics of Nazism, the striking uniforms, the distinctive fasci, haircuts, the nice animals. It will also appeal to people who like gardening, but viewers who want insights in the tragic history of the Holocaust should look elsewhere. At this point, you are straight up so butthurt that you are looking at mostly things that people who care about this sort of thing have already decided was good and shitting on it. So all you're doing is negatively polarizing people against you. And I can't for the life of me understand this. There are better ways of trying to do propaganda. Okay? I don't think people who are pro-Israel, especially like to this degree, recognize what they're doing because they're so angry. They're so angry and they're so horny. They're so bloodthirsty that they're just like, they're lashing out at anything and everything that like makes them feel something, makes them feel bad, makes them feel like maybe they're not on the right side of this. How will we look back at this in 10 years? They will act like they did nothing wrong. I mean, the analog, the example already exists. Almost all of the New York Times opinion writers and decorated journalists from what's his face? Was it Judith? Basically, every New York Times opinion writer was incredibly aggro on the whole weapons of mass destruction in Iraq shit that was like completely fake. And it doesn't matter. There were no punishments issued out because why would there be a punishment? It's not Judith Butler. I think it might have been, was it Judith Miller? I think it was Judith Miller with the Iraq War. Yeah. Judith Miller, American journalist, commentator who covered Iraq's weapons of mass destruction program both before and after the 2003 invasion, which was later discovered to have been based on inaccurate information from the intelligence community. So what you have to remember is that these people literally get promoted for doing that because their real job is to do that. Stop sending me the motherfucking Google link, dude. What the fuck's wrong with you? Take a day off. Stop. I'm not going to click on your Google Doc, man. J Post wrote, the IDF's tactical wins in Gaza could become strategic losses. This is why. People are pretty crazy. Posting Google Drive, Google Doc links. It's got the same energy as like, Hassan, can I come to your house and hang out? Hey, man, can you just give me a call real quick? Yeah, of course, to make matters even funnier, by the way, the guy who wrote that CNN article is also, of course, like, with not even a fucking shred of irony here, like a anti-Russia, you know, he's like a anti-Russia, pro-Ukraine guy, not seeing the analog here at all. Very strange, which is crazy. They should revoke your pro-Ukraine card if you're fucking anti-Palestine, anti-Palestinian, okay? You just can't. You like, I will never take you seriously ever for the rest of my life. Anyway, that's different though from my army friend, lol. Yeah, exactly. It's different because like the victims are white there. And also our allies. It's a good country because we've decided that they are our allies. Pro-Ukraine and pro-Israel matches. Zelensky's pro-Israel. Yes, dude. I'm not talking about fucking Zell Disney, who is so unimaginably cucked to American empire that he has to sit there and advocate for Israel as Israel has literally fucked him over every step of the way, even before October 8th. Okay? Zelensky literally was like, can we get the fucking Iron Dome? And Israel was like, haha, you think you'll get the Iron Dome? Suck my dick. Okay? That was when Russia first invaded. Israel and Russia are also tight. another fun fact that many people forget conveniently. There's a lot of pro-Russia, pro-Israel people, which I guess at least is like technically, logically consistent. You know what I mean? Also, the Republican Party, I guess. Tacoma Weeper. Oh, that's a great username. Anyway, but yeah, that was like before October 8th. Okay. The thing is, Israel has cooked Ukraine's chances even further. Like, way further. And Zelensky still has to sit there and be like, yes, I love Israel. Very good. I need more bullets. I need more ammo. I need more ammo, more bullets. Yeah, where are the fucking bullets going? They're going to Israel, dumbass. You're fucked. And he still has to sit there and be like, no, it's actually so chill that Israel is doing an ethnic cleansing campaign on the Gazan population so that all of the dumb bombs that we desperately need in Ukraine to defend ourselves against fucking the Russian invasion, well, it's GG's, I guess. Fraudulent. Complete fraudulent nonsense. Okay? Russia's always been pro-Israel from the pogroms of Stalin and the Soviets supporting Zionism and the creation of Israel. Yes, you're right that the USSR has always been very, I say pogroms. USSR is pro-Israel, was pro-Israel, and Russia has also been very pro-Israel. Israel has a shit ton of Russian Jews that literally came either from the USSR or from Russia directly. Anyway, not true. They were pro-Israel for a brief period from 46 to 48. Yeah, I mean, USSR changed their attitude afterwards, but I mean, they were definitely critical about Israel, way more critical than the global leaders at the time. But they were still, I would say, pro-Israel. Anyway, we're going to talk about this dumb fuck Jared Kushner now. Speaking of people who just like are completely out of control. Okay. Jared Kushner, everyone's favorite fail son, the brilliant creator, the brilliant facilitator of the Abraham Accords. Okay. I love Al Jazeera writing, former Trump official calls Gaza waterfront property very valuable. Al Jazeera English, cooking our boy Jared. Former Trump official. That's such a funny title. Man, it's Trump's son-in-law, dude. What the fuck? That's awesome. They cooked there, okay? They cooked hard there, and everyone should know and everyone should recognize. Kushner Sr. is a failed dad. Anyway, Jared Kushner goes back to Harvard, okay? Remember, Harvard, where the whole doxing of any pro-Palestinian student saga occurred very shortly after. That very same Harvard that got every fucking hedge fund dipshit to lose their minds and be like, we should kill everyone that said October 7 is due to Israel's apartheid regime. You know what I mean? Oh, we'll make sure you'll never get a job. That type of shit, you know? And then that very same Harvard that basically forced their president, Claudine Gay, to resign in disgrace because, let's be for real, it had nothing to do with the fucking whole, like, it had nothing to do with the whole, like, she plagiarized their fucking thesis or whatever. And everything to do with the fact that she was, one, a really good target as a black woman for DEI, which is the new way to say, like, you know, black people should not be in positions of power. They don't deserve it. And also because, and more importantly, because she wasn't sufficiently Zionist enough, which is crazy because she is a fucking major Zionist. You cannot be the president of Harvard and not have a position like this. I'm sorry. Harvard is basically like, Harvard is a scouting operation for the American State Department. There is no like overt anti-Zionist position inside of Harvard where you can like maintain a position of power. Okay. It is literally like, it is basically how like a farming ground for our State Department, for our CIA, for our intelligence community. There's no one in a position of power there that is going to be like, yeah, actually, fuck Israel. Yeah, it's really gotten out of hand. She literally said that the anti-genocide protesters are calling for violence against Jewish people, and that still wasn't enough for them. Exactly. So, so the notion that like you are going to have a president of Harvard that is like anti-Israel is ridiculous. And she was, of course, pro-Israel. And she even literally said in that congressional hearing against like the likes of Elise Stefanik, who is a fucking freak, who literally supported an Adolf Hitler fan in New York local elections before, like an actual Adolf Hitler fan, sitting there and fucking yelling about anti-Semitism in the country. Anyway, like that's how fucked up the situation is. I feel like I'm losing my goddamn fucking mind sometimes. I'm like, what are you doing? This is a Republican who literally has supported an Adolf Hitler fan. Why do you think she has any say in the anti-Semitism here? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, she had her shining moment, okay? Ripping into all the fucking presidents of all of these institutions. And then Claudine Gay was, she had to resign in disgrace, okay? She had to resign in disgrace. Now, why am I saying all of this about Harvard? Well, because this fucking limp dick piece of shit can go to Harvard and speak in front of a fucking crowd and very openly be like, yeah, what's up, dude? Actually, it's so sick. Gaza is waterfront, beachfront property, and, we're going to make a lot of money there. Like, she can say that in an interview at Harvard, and no fuss will ever occur, okay? There is perhaps no better demonstration of that double standard in display like this. Those who call for more genocide and more ethnic cleansing in Israel can get away with it every day of the fucking week. Those who dehumanize the Gazans who are withstanding a genocide can get away with it every day of the fucking week. But God forbid you say that they're human. God forbid you say that they don't want to be killed. Oh my God, you're an anti-Semite. What the fuck's going on? You need to be fired. You need to be doxxed. You need to lose all of your fucking future job prospects. Oh. And we see this happening every fucking day. Every day there's another dumb fuck from like Mississippi or something, a congressperson you've never heard of before, going, yeah, I think we should literally, I would kill a Palestinian child if I could. Let me tell you, I love Israel. It's my greatest ally. I would kill one of them Palestinian children if I could. And then nothing happens. But who got censured? Rashida Tlaib. The only Palestinian, well, one of the only Palestinian, there's two Palestinian congresspersons, but now the only Palestinian congresswoman censured for what? Saying from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Remember how much discourse happened? This morning I was thinking about that in the shower. Okay. After I was done with the mortgage person, I went back into the shower and I had to finish the process. And I was thinking about that. I was like, man, where are all the people who were fucking losing their minds over the JDAM at the El Ahly hospital saying, Hassan, you're wrong. Israel would never fucking attack a hospital. How dare you say Israel attacked the hospital? Wow, you're so wrong for, reading the BBC, who also came to that conclusion understandably. Now, where are those people? What happened? Did they move on? Are they done? Is Israel over? Is there no more genocide? Do they care? They never cared. Think about every single moment of discourse since October 7. It has always been led by the silliest fucking shit. It's always been led. It's always a distraction after another distraction after another distraction. First, it's first it's parsing through the atrocities of October 7, relitigating it over and over and over again, okay? And being like, you have to condemn Hamas. You're not sufficiently condemning Hamas. I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing enough condemnations for Hamas. I'm not hearing this at all. How dare you talk about how dare you talk about the broader picture of the Israeli apartheid? Don't do it. Then it was a litany of fake shit that Israel constantly presented as it increased its bloodthirsty endeavor in Gaza, right? And every step of the way, you're like, well, this is fake. And you're like, whoa, dude, you're saying Jews lie, anti-Semitism much? It's like, no, I'm not saying Jews lie, dumb fuck. I'm saying Israel is lying currently. Then you have Al Ahli, which is a hospital that Israel actually shelled with artillery. For weeks, we talked about how the Al Ahli hospital wasn't blown up by Israel. Duh, dude. It was definitely Palestinian Islamic Jihad. Duh. Why? Israel said so. You're going to believe? Who are you going to believe? The state of Israel, which is objectively never lied? Or you're going to believe your eyes and your ears and all the circumstantial evidence surrounding the situation that, like, Israel had blown up this hospital before, shelled it with artillery. Israel had personally blown up other hospitals and ambulances. What are you going to, who are you going to believe? Yeah. That is when the whole Hamas is lying about their numbers happened. And that never changed. Like, ever after Joe Biden went on the main stage and said, I don't trust the Palestinian health ministry numbers because they're backed by Hamas. Joe Biden said that, and boom, it was over. From that point on, every single outlet was using neutral language whenever they're talking about, like, Israeli rockets. They made it seem like, you know, explosions were occurring in an area where Palestinians had gathered. Like it was a fucking natural disaster over and over and over again. And the death toll kept rising through. All the while, every single fucking person who is pro-Israel, unconditionally so, kept repeating the most unhinged, most insane, most bloodthirsty shit, even claiming Pallywood, which is one of the grossest things I've ever fucking heard in my entire life. The notion that Palestinians are actually lying about all of the people dying. The numbers are fake, and that they're lying. They're filming fake footage of their slaughtered children to make the world feel sympathetic to the Palestinians. And 6 months in, remember, in that time frame, the only people that ever got punished were people that weren't sufficiently pro-Israel or people who were pro-Palestinian. I cannot think of a single high-profile individual in the Western world that got even a shred of fucking scrutiny for saying unhinged pro-Israel, pro-genocidal, anti-Arab, dehumanizing Arab shit at all. Look at fucking Michael Rappaport, Amy Schumer, Brett Gelman, Democrats, Republicans that have said such unhinged shit. Did a single one of them get punished? Did Brian Mast get punished? No. And here we are. Tens of thousands of murdered women and children and civilians across the board, and you still got dumb fucks like Jared Kushner not even feeling a sense of shame.
In Syria, when there's refugees, Turkey took them, Europe took them, Jordan took them. For whatever reason, here in Gaza, there's refugees from the fighting, from an offensive attack that was staged from Gaza. Israel's going in to do, a long-term deterrence mission. And it's just, it's unfortunate that nobody's taking the refugees.
But also there are real fears on the part of Arabs, and I'm sure you talk to a lot of them, who think once Gazans leave Gaza, Netanyahu's never going to let them back in.
Maybe, but I'm not sure there's much left of Gaza at this point. So,
scumbag.
You know, if you think about even the construct, like, Gaza was not really a historical precedent, right? It was the result of a war, right? You had tribes that were in different places, but then Gaza became a thing. Egypt, used to run it. And then, over time, you had different governments that came in different ways. So,
yeah, what happened? Why? He's just overlooking the Nakba, for example, like it's nothing. Some stuff happened, and that's why Palestinian tribes were moved over there. Bro, Millions of Palestinians are warehoused in this fucking tiny sliver of land. How did they get there? How did they fucking get there, dumb fuck?
You have another war. Usually when wars happen, borders are changed historically over time. And so my sense is I would say, how do we deal with the terror threat that is there so that it cannot be a threat to Israel or to Egypt, right? I think that both sides are spending a fortune on military. I think neither side really wants to have, a terrorist organization enclaved right between them. And Gaza's waterfront property. It could be very valuable to, if people would focus on kind of building up, livelihoods. You think about all the money that's gone into this tunnel network and into all the munitions, if that would.
Gaza is waterfront property, dude. It could be very valuable. There's not much remaining there. Why did they build tunnels? They should have built hotels. Bro. What do you mean? Why did they build tunnels? The fuck do you mean? Israel's an occupying entity. I wonder why. I wonder why they fucking built tunnels, dog. Look at Gaza now. The tunnels are the only survivable place in fucking Gaza, dipshit.
Would have gone into education or innovation, what could have been done. And so I think that
yeah, education or innovation, as Israel that I am defending has lasered every fucking hospital, every fucking institute of higher learning. What the fuck are you saying? What the fuck are you saying? I can't believe they didn't build luxury condominiums, which we will build now. Palestinians are some of the most highly educated populations out there, by the way. Like, in spite of the apartheid. In spite of everything. In spite of Israel's continued offensive on all things Palestinian civil society. These people are living in, like, I can't even say la la land. Like, they recognize what's going on. They recognize exactly what's fucking going on. They're such fucking scumbags, man.
It's a little bit of an unfortunate situation there, but I think from Israel's perspective, I would do my best to move the people out and then clean it up. But I don't think that Israel has stated that they don't want the people to move back there afterwards.
You saw Tom Friedman's column on Tuesday about where he put forward a plan to get out of this. Biden should recognize.
No fucking way that you got an award for pussy popping for Israel from a man named Bob Shillman. There is no room for anti-Semitism in this world. As long as I am in Congress, I will ensure that the U.S. stands with our ally Israel and the Jewish people. I was honored to receive the Dr. Bob Shillman Zionism Award for the Zionist Organization of America on Sunday night. How you hating on the Dr. Bob Shillman Zionism Award from the Zionist Organization of America from outside the club? I actually got the Dr. Bob Shillman Zionism Award last year, but they just didn't post about it. Dude, Bob Shillman is so funny. I think it's fucking awesome that the Zionist Organization of America has a Zionism Award and it's named after Bob Shillman. Thank you for shilling. Thank you for shilling Kojima naming scheme. No, this is literally like, no, this is like not even Kojima naming scheme. This is basically a J.K. Rowling character, okay? What the fuck? Well, actually, no. Vile Shlomo is the J.K. Rowling character. This is maybe a little bit more than that. Now that's anti-Semitic. Oh, Jesus Christ. Duncan, Idaho sends his regards. Anyway. Ay. Fuck this guy, man. Anyway, all jokes aside, fuck this dude, okay?
Recognize the Palestinian Authority unilaterally as a state, and MBS should go to Jerusalem like Egyptian President Anwar Sadat did in 1977, and he should say, I'll normalize with Israel, I'll recognize West Jerusalem as your capital, and I'll even pay to rebuild Gaza if you recognize a Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital. What do you think? Good idea?
No, I don't think that's a good idea. I think that there's certain elements of it that are correct. I think proactively recognizing a Palestinian state would essentially be rewarding an act of terror that was perpetrated.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't recognize the Palestinian state. We're rewarding the terrorists. You're doing the terror, man, and you're justifying it. And you're talking about how fucking financially beneficial that terrorism is by talking about the beachfront property. Suck my dick. Monster. Monstrous piece of shit he is. Oh, God. Imagine asking Jared Kushner if it's a good idea. What the fuck does he know? Might as well ask Ja Rule. Dude, the sad part about it is that while he has the same level of depth as Ja Rule on the matter, he is an incredibly important figure in October 7, in the lead up to October 7, because he was tasked with fixing the Middle East, bro. He was the guy who put forward the fucking Abraham Accords. That's how fucking dumb this goddamn sinking empire is, okay? We got this dipshit running. Trump literally was like, "You're a Jew, go deal with it." Like, he literally, like, "You're a Jew, you got all the Saudis, the Saudis love you, the Jews love you, you're a Jew, go deal with it." That's what he did. Like, make some money. Basically, like, what the fuck is Jared Kushner doing? Yeah, Jared is like if Mr. Borelli was in the cabinet. Dude, please don't say that. Oh my God, that's gonna happen now. Oh God, we are in the fucking sunken place. We're in the dark place. We're in the bad place. Okay, it is literally the same shit. When it comes to Israel, people are just like, I don't know. I just want someone to say the things, say the talking, say this. I want someone to not do this, a little bit of thinking, and just do this. Okay, that's why you got motherfuckers like Mr. Barilla talking to Norm Finkelstein, which, by the way, banger video finally came out. Shouts out to the editors for condensing this 12-hour react down to an hour and 56 minutes. Okay, some of the best moments are available on this video if you want. Washington Post reported that Nikki Haley adopted Jared Kushner's position to abandon support for UNRWA, and she called him a genius on the issue while she was at her Trump-appointed UN appointment. Why is Norm talking to everyone, but you guys will have a great convo? I'm working on it. The thing is, like, one, I'm super busy, and sorry if this is ass. Are we doing the Turkey Tom Doc? No, fuck no. I don't fuck with those dudes at all. Isn't that one of those, like, fucking Keemstar adjacent, Mr. Borelli adjacent commentary people? Pff, no. Dude, I don't touch any of these motherfuckers with a 10-foot pole, okay? They, like, these guys are, they're all like fucking, they're all homies with the worst people, straight up. He made like 5 drama bait vids on you. Of course he did. He's a part of that, like, yeah, he's like a Kiwi Farms freak with a who's like super tapped in on the lol cow shit. He keeps calling you out in random videos that have no relation to you. Yes, I have put my dick in their fucking spinal cords at this point. I am living permanently inside of their fucking minds. They literally, I just have a permanent occupation in their brains, okay? All of those dudes, they're just fucking, they can't stop riding my fucking dick, dude. Holy shit. Yeah, Matrix style. It was a thing on Mr. Borelli, kind of interesting, to be honest. No fucking shot that he did a fucking accurate Mr. Borelli thing. Get the fuck out of here. You think I'm going to watch a fucking documentary that one of Mr. Borelli's orbiters made about Mr. Borelli glazing him like a fucking donut? Get the fuck out of here. Can we map mentions of your name against monthly rent due dates? Yeah. Blowing bubbles on it. Anyway. Yeah, I'm occupying their fucking brains. I have a permanent residency in their minds, okay? I occupy that space like fucking, like I'm violating international human rights like I'm fucking Israel in the West Bank. Maybe you should try sometimes to see different opinions that are different than yours. Cheps, fuck you. Mr. Bulgogi, you are one fantastic moron. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, where'd you get the shirt? It's my shirt. It's coming out tomorrow. How's your Don Lemon impersonation? I can't do it. Guys, please remember what we learned from Star-Bellied Sneeches. Just because he has diplomas does not mean he knows more. Wikipedia is the people's encyclopedia, if you think about it. And don't fall for this elitism, which is classist because he only takes people with diplomas seriously. And some people don't grow up rich. Demonizing Wikipedia is classist. People with diplomas act like they're Sneeches with stars. One of the greatest fucking copy pastas that came. Guys, it's like Star-Bellied Sneeches, okay? Mr. Bonnaroo, you do not have the cognitive functioning to recognize that at the top of the hour there's a 3-minute ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, well, then all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Do it now, Connect. You fantastic moron. Connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get 1 free Prime subscription a month. You can also get gifted a sub. If you are lucky, you will educate yourself not on Wikipedia. Bill Aza, thank you for the 5 community gifted subs. Here is the 3-minute ad break now. How the fuck did you not cover this, dude? Oh, dude, I did. I briefly covered it. I was actually texting Austin about this morning. We'll talk about Ohio Republican candidate's ex-intern says adult site post was a prank. Allow me to finish this ad break. Anyway, yeah, just the prank. Yeah. Yeah, we were pranking so hard. I just, I ended up meeting some of those dudes and like sucking and fucking them as a prank, of course. El Sikon, thank you for the 5 community gift the subs as well. All right, let's move on from the Jared Cushman. Oh, there was another fucking insane clip here. Cenk Uygur, Chunk Yogurt.
Will you condemn what Erdogan has done to the country of your birth? He won't ever stop interfering. So let me answer Pierre's question. So Pierre's, they're attacking a hospital now, and I read this morning they've got snipers killing anyone that crosses a window. Well, how do you know if they're patients, doctors, hostages, or Hamas? Even if you think Hamas is in the hospital, which, by the way, the IDF has never proven that in any other hospital raid that they have done. Every one of their pieces of propaganda has turned out to be a lie, disproven every single time.
Did you just say hospital
even
rape?
If, hold on,
Did
can
you just say
let me
rape?
finish? Pierce, I gotta go.
Did
this
you
guy
say
won't let
that
me finish
Jews
the
rape?
sentence.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Wait, what? What is happening with this dude? Like, no, he didn't say that at all. As a matter of fact, I don't even think he said anything that you can. Like, is it raid? Did he misunderstand raid as rape? Like, that's crazy. Yeah, dude, he said hospital rape. He said Israel is doing hospital rapes. He's got dildos in his ears. I mean, dude, he is like, does this work on anyone? Is there like even one person that's like, man, Rabbi Shmuley is really cooking? You're arguing like a 12-year-old. Like, it's kind of crazy. He's doing the, well, I misheard you technique. Very effective. Who the fuck? No, dude, no way. I don't even think, dude, I genuinely don't even think that like the biggest fucking ultra Zionists, like I feel like he is working overtime in converting people away from defending Israel. Cause like his presentation is ass too. Like his presentation is ass. At least Ben Shapiro edges to this. No, like Ben Shapiro, for all of his faults and for all of his like bloodthirsty, monstrous narratives, okay? And I'm not just talking about Israel here as well. I'm talking like American domestic policy in general, okay? Like ultimately, Ben Shapiro tries to present himself in a rational, reasonable way. Like the things that he's saying are irrational. The things that he's saying are unreasonable. But at least Ben, you know, he tries to desperately make himself out to be like a logical beacon of truth, an arbiter of truth and justice. Okay? Shmuley does not even give a fuck. He looks like shit. Like even on the presentation front, it's like, bro, you're going on camera, you know? Fix your shit up a little bit. It looks like every time I see Shmuley, it looks like he hasn't fucking slept for months. Okay? It's just nuts.
I'm going to move to what you just alluded to, Cenk, which is this issue with Candace Owens. Because as you just said, you condemn.
It's crazy. Oh my God. He has slept under a bridge. Yeah, he just fucking looks so crazy. Did you see the recent Nathan J. Robbins eclipse? Der Streamer said that transfer is not necessarily violent. Yeah. Another dude. Here. Another instance where Mr. Bonarello perfectly aligning with Ben Shapiro. You know. I've done the bit many, many years ago, many times over, where I took this, translated it into German, and then read it out loud. I'm not going to do it again, but this part is like very apparent. Crazy how property and land doesn't matter to the guy who tanked his reputation defending Kyle Rittenhouse. Hey, I'm a fan. My only core disagreement with you is your take on NATO, and I'd really like for you to personally educate me on the matter. Would you be willing to guest star me so we can have a chat? Not right now. But thank you for being... No, don't make fun of the chatter. I don't think that's bait. It seems like they're being polite and honest. That's like exactly the kind of energy we want. Chat's so ready to fucking cook people. They're willing to learn. They're being charitable. That's like exactly the kind of energy I want from people in here who disagree with me. No, but the entitlement to want to guest star randomly on a 20K stream, it doesn't matter. I don't think that, you know, I do that from time to time. Oh, here's another fucking psycho. Confronted by voters, Representative Dan Goldman says he doesn't trust number of kids killed in Gaza.
Terrorists.
After weeks of asking, where is Dan Goldman? On March 18th, we spotted him on the subway. We were shocked by how extreme his views are.
We're sending billions of dollars to Israel to fund their incredibly destructive military campaign against the men, women and children of Palestine. Why are you sending my tax-paying dollars there? I don't want you to. You're my rep, but you are. So why are you sending Israel all of this military aid? Don't you want that to stop?
So Israel is a democracy in an area surrounded by terrorists. They are a strategic partner.
These are not terrorists we're talking about. Men, women and children, okay, in Palestine.
Hamas is a terrorist organization. Hezbollah is a terrorist organization. Iran is a terrorist funding country that wants to eviscerate Israel from the face of the earth. If Israel put down its arms, then it would be overtaken. If Hamas put down its arms, we would have peace in Gaza. And that's the critical difference.
That's why I want to know where you stand on the UNRWA funding.
Well, look, I think ultimately I would like to fund UNRWA. I'm very concerned about the allegations that...
He's concerned about the allegations. Just like, were they substantive? No. Were they confirmed? No. But the allegations were made. Oh, okay.
There are employees of UNRWA who were assisting Hamas on October 7th. I think we need to understand more details.
Oh, there's no doubt that the claim that Prime Minister Netanyahu and others are making that somehow UNRWA is a proxy for Hamas are just flat out lies. That's a flat out lie.
In the past 4 months, more children have been killed in Gaza than in the past 4 years globally.
There are too many children who have died, but I do not trust those numbers.
Yeah, no, a lot of children have died, but like, but who's to say how many exactly? Yeah, it's probably more children, dumb fuck, than what has been represented so far, because Israel very successfully dismantled any matter of healthcare infrastructure inside of Gaza, specifically so that in this pogrom that Israel is currently engaging in this ethnic cleansing campaign, we do not have an accurate assessment and accurate tabulations until it's, far too late, until the job is done.
The toll on innocent civilians in all previous wars in Gaza combined. More than 30,000 Palestinians have been killed. If there was
any real rule of law, every single one of these dipshits, every single one of these genocidaires will be going to prison. Okay? Every single one. They should be under the Hague.
Most of whom are not Hamas. Thousands and thousands of innocents, women and children, girls and boys, also orphaned.
Okay, thank you. Good day. Thank you.
Mr. Goldman.
Yeah, no, like most of the American Congress. Anyway, brief moment of solace. Day 166 from Elon Levy, now suspended permanently.
Suck my dick. Suck my own fucking dick. And then eat my butt. Suck my dick. Won't you please suck on my nuts and eat my dick?
GG's, Elon.
Eat my dick.
GG's.
You can eat my cum and then eat my cum. I will eat your butt.
What did he say? He told the pig fucker David Cameron that he was wrong and that they were actually letting in a sufficient amount of humanitarian aid trucks when it is objectively untrue. He got cooked for like the dumbest thing, but it's fine. He'll have a podcast. They'll have another asshat replace him and do the same shit. Anyway. The trams in Melbourne and the train system in Brisbane will make you come on site. Could be better or really good for non-Europe Western country. Nice. The Aussie chatters are going fucking crazy since I said I'm going to Australia. Do you think former pro-genocide propagandists will look good on his resume? Yes. Yes, it will. 100%. As I've said, these guys are careerists and they know that this is a leg up for them, okay? This is a career opportunity for them. Hold on, I forgot. I actually wanted to see Noam Klein with the Jared Kushner. When visiting New York in the 90s, Benjamin Netanyahu used to sleep in Jared Kushner's childhood bedroom. This was reported by the New York Times in 2017, and it seems relevant to any reporting on Kushner's poisonous view about Palestine. Back then, Mr. Kushner was a high school basketball player, a Billy Joel fan, a quiz team manager, and no one's guess to become a negotiating partner with Mr. Netanyahu. But unlike other students on the trip, he knew the prime minister, who was friendly with his father, a real estate developer and a donor to Israeli causes. Mr. Netanyahu had even stayed at Kushner's home in New Jersey, sleeping in Jared's bedroom. The teenager moved to the basement that night. Even if he didn't have a close and personal relationship with Benny Boy, okay, with BB, it still doesn't matter. Because many people that don't have a close and personal relationship with BB still advocate in the same exact ways that Jared Kushner does. Why do they do it? Because it's good for your career. It's the same principle behind what I told you about Judith Miller, who was elevated after her coverage where she reported uncritically on the lies that the American government was promoting about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq to set the stage for an invasion of Iraq. The New York Times and many American journalists, many American opinion writers that celebrated, championed the invasion of Iraq, unjustifiable. Okay, the unjustifiable, illegal, deadly, destructive invasion of Iraq got elevated to higher positions of power. Okay? Now let's get to American domestic politics and talk about the appeals court decision temporarily blocking Texas from implementing SB4.
Begin today.
No, I am not fasting. I'm a bad Muslim.
At the border, an appeals court has blocked the state of Texas from enforcing a measure known as SB4. Now that gives state and local law enforcement broad powers to arrest suspected migrants. That's a job, by the way, that's usually left for federal authorities. It's all part of a political fight between President Biden and Texas Governor, that's Greg Abbott, on a top issue for voters. But it's also putting local sheriffs in a huge bind. Jan Crawford is here with us in the studio today with more on this. Jan, good morning.
Well, good morning, Gail. So, basically what the Supreme Court did yesterday was say it's too soon for us to get involved right now. In the lower court, you need to get going on this. And then late last night, the lower court did just that, stepping in and temporarily blocking the law again.
Senate Bill 4 is now law in the state of Texas.
Signed into law by Governor Abbott last December, Senate Bill 4 would allow Texas law enforcement to seek and arrest any migrant.
Bro, they're playing the hits. This happened in Arizona, and they're basically fucking playing the hits again. They're replaying it. Even if they know it won't actually pass, they're still doing it just to, get their racist bona fides up. You know what I mean? They're like, no, I mean, even if this is like unconstitutional, illegal, very racist, doesn't fucking matter. I'm still going to sign it because I'm a racist piece of shit.
Migrant they suspect of entering the country illegally. It also authorizes state judges to issue deportation orders.
Texas has invoked the authority provided to us in Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution to declare an invasion and for Texas to defend ourselves from the crimes that are being caused by Joe Biden.
There have been a record 2.4 million migrants apprehended at the border in just the past fiscal year.
We're not immigration officers.
But SB4 raises questions about how Texas state police would enforce it.
We have to get trained to make sure that we are following the rule of the law.
Meanwhile, government officials in Mexico said they will not accept under any circumstances people deported by the state of Texas.
SB4 is just another example of what we have seen from the governor of Texas, Governor Abbott, attempting to politicize what's happening at the border.
While migrant advocates say beyond the politics, SB4 creates distrust rather than security.
When people in the local community are afraid that they can't call the police because the police might engage in immigration enforcement, they simply won't call the police.
Never good, Jan, when we see the word chaos on the screen. So help walk us through this. What does this mean exactly legally?
Well, right now where we are is the appeals court is going to hear arguments this morning on whether this law should remain blocked indefinitely while this litigation over the merits of this case and the constitutionality of this case plays out. So what does that mean? That means we're at the beginning of this legal fight over this controversial law, and this issue is going to end up right back at the Supreme Court.
All right, Jan, thank you. Let's go to CBS News immigration reporter Camilo Montoya Galvez, who's in Eagle Pass. Camilo, good morning. You have covered the border debate extensively. If the law stands in Texas, what would enforcement look like now?
Nate, good morning. As Jan mentioned, SB4 would empower Texas officials to arrest, jail, and prosecute migrants anywhere in the state if there's reason to believe that they cross the U.S.-Mexico border illegally. The state judges here could also require migrants to go back to Mexico, but the Mexican government, Nate, has already called this law anti-immigrant and vowed to reject any returns of migrants from Texas, saying that that has to be done at the federal level. But the law enforcement community here in Texas is deeply divided. Some say this law is needed to curtail illegal immigration, but others say it could lead to racial profiling without sufficient training and resources. Some local jails, critics say, could quickly become overwhelmed. It's important to underscore that Texas is already arresting some migrants on criminal trespassing charges in areas just like this public.
Not wanting mass illegal migration isn't racist. It is and you are. I'm Hispanic. Oh shit, dude. I didn't realize you could be racist. You couldn't be racist magically. Like, we don't do this fucking bullshit ass identity politics shit in here. I hope you understand that, okay? 52% of Customs and Border Patrol are Hispanic. Does that mean that they're not basically operating as the Gestapo? They are. Okay? Suck my dick. Oh, dude, I'm Hispanic. Pff, you've activated my trap card, dude. Nice. Sick. You know who else is Hispanic? Nicolas Fuentes. Nicolas Fuentes. American neo-Nazi. You know who else is Hispanic? That fucking, what was his name? The dude, Stone Toss. Carlos, what was his fucking name? God damn it. Stone Toss's name? I'm forgetting. He had some German-ass sounding name, though. Hans Grebner. Yeah, you know who else is fucking Hispanic? Ted Cruz. Hans Grebner.
Public park behind me, which the state National Guard commandeered in January. Texas has blocked federal agents from processing migrants in this 2.5-mile section of the border since January. It's important to underscore that the Department of Homeland Security has told CBS News that it will not help Texas enforce SB4, saying it could throw the immigration system into chaos. Nate?
Camilo, thank you.
I have a quick question. Simple.
Tony Bobolinsky, my man. I'm skipping this. I don't give a shit about this.
Gentlemen's time's expired.
Sparks Flower and Dan Goldman grills ex-Hunter Biden partner Tony Bobolinsky. We saw Dan Goldman getting grilled earlier, so
this morning,
skipping that part. Fears grow in Rafah as Netanyahu vows new offensive. Netanyahu's been vowing a new offensive every goddamn day, it seems. By the way, I don't know about this, but Anonymous claims to infiltrate Israel's nuclear reactor or something. I don't know how fucking valid this is, so it's got also 31 likes. And it's on a website called Jewish Breaking News. So I don't know how valid that coverage is.
Growing fear in Rafah as Israel refuses to back down on plans for a major offensive despite warnings from the White House. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying he told President Biden a ground assault is the only way to destroy Hamas units hiding in the southern Gaza city. We have an argument with the Americans.
Why is it so hard for people to understand that POC can subscribe to white supremacy? Yeah. American education. Actually, just education in general. Like a lack of education in many, many places. To be fair, though, if our education wasn't so dog shit, I wouldn't have a job. So I just remember bringing up Hawaii as an example of indigenous stuff, and he immediately said how bad racism against whites is there. And I was like, excuse me, what? My ex is Hispanic. He believes in reverse racism. Yeah, it's real. The reverse racism is the only real racism. Every other type of racism isn't real, even though we slap the reverse in front of it.
Americans about the need to enter Rafah, he says. But the U.S. increasingly alarmed about what that'll mean for more than 1 million Palestinian civilians sheltering there, and asking Netanyahu to send a team to Washington to discuss alternatives to an all-out attack.
Obviously, he has his own point of view on a Rafah operation, but he agreed that he would send a team to Washington.
The U.S. hoping to convince Israel to take on Hamas with smaller, targeted raids. But another problem underground. Rafah is home to Hamas smuggling tunnels used.
What's your take on not being able to be racist against white people? I did a YouTube video on this a while back. It's a pretty good banger YouTube video. I think it was titled "White People Don't Exist." It's a bait title, obviously. But my friend believes in the Great Replacement without realizing. How do I convince him out of it? But I highly recommend you watch it. I think it's like one of the more comprehensive. It was off the cuff, but I think it's one of the more comprehensive ways I've covered this topic. Oh, damn, FD Signifier in the replies. Didn't even see that. Well, guess I don't have to make a video about this topic anymore. Long hair was good, but middle part was not. I didn't even see that you liked it. You think I liked it? I don't control the account. On TikTok too. If you see me writing a comment under a TikTok, there's a likelihood that it's me. But if you see a comment under my own TikTok, it's probably Austin Ox.
To bring in weapons like these.
Mortars, RPGs, IEDs.
We went with Israeli forces into tunnels in Han Yunis and asked about their plans for Rafah.
How can you fight there without causing mass casualties of innocent people?
We'll have to find a way if we go there.
U.S. diplomacy coming too late for the Al-Hashash family. This is what's left of their home after an Israeli strike.
It's a me, boy.
Mahmoud says his parents and 3 siblings were killed. It's now up to him to look after his little sister, an orphan trying to make his way through this cruel war.
And Secretary of State Antony Blinken back in the Middle East today, his trip starting in Saudi Arabia. He arrives as Canada announces it is cutting off arms sales to Israel. That is something that is causing a lot of anger over here. Human Rights Watch is urging the United States to do the same, but that is a step that President Biden has indicated so far, at least, he is not prepared to take.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head...
High in the hills of the occupied West Bank, a flag flies in the face of a Palestinian village. God is king, it says. 2 young settlers guard this illegal outpost. Construction hasn't even begun, but we are not welcome.
So they're asking us to leave. They don't want to talk to us. They said they've been here for about 9 months.
Dotted across the landscape, more signs of the fight to a...
Lieutenant Colonel Alex Namirovsky, head of the security department of the Israeli National Unit for International Investigations. Many terrorists tell me that TikTok and Facebook were used as a tool of war. Some of them entered the Facebook pages of female soldiers, and this is how they saw the bases from the inside. Israeli investigation says that Hamas mapped IDF bases through TikToks of soldiers as opposed to the theory that Gazan workers leaked it. That sounds too good to be true. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look up where you got that from. I mean, I don't know if it's fake. It does seem like this is utilized in modern war quite frequently. That's bait for the ban. What? They're not banning TikTok in Israel, dog. Clarissa Ward has been kind of goated after she was scolded by the fleeing Gazans in Rafah. It would take a lot for me to appreciate Clarissa Ward's coverage and work. I'm gonna be honest with you. She's done decent coverage. You trust chat too much, bro? Motherfuckers think they banning TikTok was a pro-Palestine take on TikTok. I think it plays a role. I think it spells more so. It's not necessarily just like pro-Palestine takes, but what having an unlimited amount of pro-Palestine takes on a platform not controlled by the U.S. government at all in any meaningful capacity is the overarching additional boost that they want. Yeah, AIPAC is definitely lobbying for the TikTok ban. The ADL has openly stated that they are genuinely terrified about how reactionary the youth are against Israel now. So I do think that plays a contributing role for sure. It's not necessarily just Israel-Palestine, though. It's the fact that that there is an outlet out there. Damn, Chatter had the fucking juice, dude. Okay, Chatter posted sauce so quick. The police confirm Hamas mapped the encirclement using profiles of soldiers. The exposure of the hottest place from January found sensitive information about the IDF collected by Hamas operatives was published on the government's Maps website and in TikTok videos of soldiers. In an interview with the First Source, the head of security department of the police, one of the leaders of the terrorist investigation, said that those questioned admitted that they had collected information about the IDF bases through profiles of the soldiers. TikTok and Facebook were used as tools of war. Contrary to the theory of traitors from within, the false presentation presented by the IDF about the sensitive information that Hamas held about Israel, an investigator at the National Unit for International Investigations confirms the investigation of the place and admits that Hamas operatives gathered information about IDF soldiers and bases by monitoring profiles of soldiers on social networks. Chatter came quick with the sauce. There are, as far as I quickly looked to see if there was any American articles on this. They do not exist. This really can't be true. How can we get rid of AIPAC? You can't. However, you can do one thing. You can make AIPAC into a foreign lobbying organization, which it is. It is a lobby that exists primarily to defend Israel's interests. Even though it is comprised of Americans, it absolutely is a foreign lobbying organization. It's a lobby for a foreign nation. There were, in a different time, there was an opinion that AIPAC should be declared a foreign lobby. I mean, the DOJ has also done this for the American Zionist Council. So, Hassan, I can't find your YouTube video about the JDAMs unless I search pervert the title of your video. TikTok is important for reasons like that, in my opinion. Bro, you were shadow banned on Twitter and YouTube. I can't even find your JDAM video. TikTok is important. What? My JDAM video? What are you talking about? Just type El Ahli Hassan and it should come up. Anyway, the journal, Hottest Place in Hell, published an investigation on this 2 months ago. And now the interview, the police investigation head dude basically confirmed it. Hopefully it'll reach international media, but so far it's only gone through small Israeli publications, I know. And yes, if you are shocked to find out that the AIPAC lobby is not considered a foreign lobby. The American Zionist Council is the former version. Like AIPAC is an offshoot of it. In the early 60s, Israel funneled $5 million, more than $35 million today's dollars, in the U.S. propaganda and lobbying operations. The funds were channeled via the quasi-governmental Jewish agency's New York office into an Israel lobby umbrella group, the American Zionist Council. Senate Foreign Relations Committee investigations and hearings documented funding flows, propaganda, and public relations efforts, and put them on the record. But the true fate of the American Zionist Council was never known, except that its major functions were visibly shut down and shifted over to a former AZC unit known as the Kenen Committee, called the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, AIPAC, in the late 1960s. The following chronology provides links to images of the original Department of Justice case files released on June 10th, 2008 under a Freedom of Information Act filing. AIPAC is a huge donor to the DNC. Yeah, regardless of their donations to the DNC, AIPAC is openly a right-wing institution in American domestic affairs. They are very openly reactionary, obviously, as it pertains to Israel, but they are also very openly a right-wing institution in American politics. They donate a shit ton more to the RNC. AIPAC is so right-wing that there is a more moderate, more left-wing, more progressive institution called J Street, which is a lobbying group that will that is more liberal, which even features people that are like features people from like liberal Zionists all the way to, I wouldn't say anti-Zionist, but definitely very extremely and genuinely critical of Israel, while still maintaining a Zionist ideology or Zionist predisposition. J Street also will do like AIPAC will do, super far right, super fucking ultra Zionist propaganda. J Street on the other hand will take trips, like will take congresspersons to the West Bank and stuff. Even though AIPAC donates a fuck ton of money to the RNC, do you know who their top all-time donee is? Who they've given most money to? Is it Chuck Schumer? I don't know. Who is it? It's Brandon. Joseph Robinette Brandon. It's probably because he's been around for so long. That's why. That's why all time. That's why he's on the leaderboard for all time. Because remember, Joseph Robinette Brandon has been a rabid supporter of Israel for a very long time. But he also happens to be someone who was alive before Israel even fucking existed. So God damn. Money from pro-Israel to U.S. senators, 1990 to 2024, 5.2 million. 5.2 milli. Bob Menendez got 2.5 milli. Hillary got 2.3 milli. Just the worst, dude. God, they gave the most to the worst of the worst on the Democratic lineup here. And that's only from the 90s onwards. Yeah. Oh my God, Joe Lieberman. Oh God, these are literally a who's who of some of the biggest scumbags in the Democratic Party. Oh God, it's so funny. Joe Lieberman. Oh, gross. Yuck. Disgusting. Ew. And then right there, Mark Kirk. And then right after Mark Kirk, number 2 on the leaderboard is Mitch McConnell. And then you got Charles Jebediah Schumer. And then you got now deceased Donald McCain. Oh my God, these are all the worst fucking politicians in America. Holy shit. What's really crazy to me is that Dick Durbin was one of the first like top level Democrats that openly said ceasefire. It's kind of crazy. Dick was literally one of the first higher level Democrats to call for a ceasefire before Bernie Sanders. Before Bernie Sanders. How is Raphael Warnock so high already? Wait, what? What the fuck? Bro, that makes no damn sense. Raphael Warnock was like liberation theology pastor, that a reverend that fucking like was actually criticized a lot for his criticisms of Israel. Yeah. Raphael Warnock is on there too. Remember, he caught flack during his first campaign for comparing Israeli apartheid and the Palestinian cause to the black cause and the civil rights movement here. Yeah. Money changes, you know? Money changes a person. I guess he got the fucking bag. It's pretty funny because then you have like, obviously, what's his face? Not Warnock. Who's the other one? Fetterman gets money from the Democratic majority for Israel, not AIPAC directly. I'm sure he's gotten a lot from AIPAC too, but Ossoff, let's see what Ossoff got. Damn! Bro, they fucking juiced Raphael Warnock a cool 200 spot. More than John Ossoff, man. That's crazy. That's messed up. Isn't Ossoff actually Jewish? Yes, he is. He also was like low-key kind of woke on Israel too, but not as much as Raphael Warnock was, which is shocking. Search Sanders. Where do I fucking dude, oh my God, they're peppering those Democrats, dude. Kirsten Gillibrand, Sherrod Brown, Cory Booker, Barbara Boxer, Tom Daschle. What is this? Why did you link me back to summary? It's the same one. It's the same thing that we're looking at. This is the same list. Oh, wait, that was money from pro-Israel to U.S. senators. Oh, this is it. Oh, wait, this isn't just AIPAC. This is all, I think this is all pro-Israel recipients. So I think like, so that probably is like, that means it's probably J Street too. This makes a lot more sense now. Do you mispronounce Sherrod on purpose like Arkansas? It's Sherrod. Don't know why he spells it like that. Well, that's just his name. Here are the splits between pro-Israel groups. Source of funds, individual source of funds, PACs source of funds, soft money. Party breakdown of contributions, total contributions. Democrats get 13.64 million. Republicans get 8 million. But this also includes, yeah, see, AIPAC being the top one. Okay. J Street, Democratic majority for Israel. And NORPAC, Republican Jewish Coalition, Joint Action Committee for Political Affairs, Citizens Organized PAC, Desert Caucus, Pro-Israel America PAC, U.S.-Israel PAC. I like that they rank AIPAC as like as a I guess Democrat, a Democratic public affairs committee when it definitely is not. And they've given as far as totals goes from the 90s all the way to now, they've given more technically to the Democrats. But they are absolutely a right-wing institution. Bernie's taking a nice 80K. That's from J Street, probably. Oh, my God. Bobbert Menendez. For the power they wield, U.S. senators are dirt cheap to buy. I don't think so. I wouldn't say that they're... I think it requires a shit ton of money to, like, successfully lobby people. But what you also have to remember is that you're lobbying people to move in a certain direction. So there is already a lot of organic interest in that direction to begin with. And then there is like, yeah, this is the disclosed stuff. This is why I was laughing when people were like yelling at Bob Menendez. Like, how can you get mad at the guy how can you get mad at Bobbert for getting gold bars from Egypt when in his mind he's like, what do you mean? This is literally what I do with AIPAC. It's just through legal means. You got to start lobbying, man. I've told you guys this before, but you cannot lobby Congress to be anti-capitalist. It doesn't work that way. Okay? You can lobby. It's like the NRA. People, myself included, love talking about the NRA and how profound an influence the NRA has. But the real thing is that it's not just the NRA. The NRA is basically making sure that politicians, even in politically tumultuous times, end up doing the right thing, as in, work in the interests of the gun manufacturers. But the reality is that Americans love guns to begin with, and a lot of these congresspersons that they're giving money to are already inclined, because they want to be reelected, to say pro-gun shit no matter what. It's just about moving them further in a particular direction that they already were heading down. That's why you cannot turn around. Like, the NRA is most important when it comes to like that famous Pat Toomey, Joe Crapo. Was it Joe Crapo? Crapo Toomey bill that was supposed to be bipartisan legislation after Sandy Hook, at a time when 90% of Americans wanted to expand background checks and make universal background checks. There was a bipartisan bill that was presented in Congress that actually, Mike Crapo, not Joe Crapo. I think it's Mike Crapo. Anyway, so Toomey and Crapo got together and put forward a bill that would expand. No, it wasn't Manchin. No, I think it was Pat Toomey and Crapo. It was a gun control bill. I'm talking about, this is, the bill that you're talking about with Toomey and Manchin is in 2022. I'm talking about this bill that you're talking about with Manchin and Toomey is actually a relatively new one in 2022. I'm talking about Crapo and Toomey, who put together a bill after, what was Manchin on that bill too? Am I wrong? I might be wrong. Where the fuck is it? Let me see if I can find it. Anyway, the point is, at the time, there was a lot of interest after Sandy Hook in pushing for more comprehensive gun control for understandable reasons. And senators, in that moment of crisis, chose to go along with who their donors are. That's it. That's where lobbying is the most important, especially as it pertains to an issue as popular or as divisive and unpopular on the other side as gun control. Okay?
Assert Israeli control over Palestinian land. The Arabic names on signposts crudely erased. Under international law, the Beit Hagla...
Yeah, maybe it was Manchin Toomey. I'm wrong. I think Crapo was just simply pushing for it.
Settlement is illegal, but last February, the Israeli government officially recognized it along with 8 others, a move the U.S. strongly opposed. We're here because God promised us this land, Azrael Picard tells us. Now these settlers have set their sights on a new prize, one that seemed utterly impossible before October 7th. Returning to Gaza, they cheer. That is the goal of Zionist settler organization Nahalah, one of more than a dozen groups now advocating for the reestablishment of Israeli settlements in Gaza. A recent promotional video even boasts that Gaza will become the next.
Before people say, oh, these guys are just edge cases or whatever, if there's any Israel defenders that remain in this chat, yeah, they're edge cases for now. Okay? And they're not even edge cases at all. Let's be for fucking real. These guys are absolutely fully funded and supported by the Israeli government, okay? And they are totally not like a random group. Many people in Israel simply overlook their mania, but are perfectly fine with them existing. Some hate them for propaganda purposes because they look really bad to the Western world because their actions are insane. Okay? And to say that these guys are like edge cases now is ridiculous when you have Itamar Ben-Gvir, who is like the interior ministry secretary, like the guy who controls like all the police operations, and also Bezalel Smotrich. Things that used to be considered unimaginable become not only manageable, but also the reality in a very short period of time. They're not fringe at all. Okay?
Riviera. Daniela Weiss is the godmother of the movement, and she's already started recruiting from the 700,000-strong settler community of Israel.
We're just arriving now at a settlement in the occupied West Bank, and we're heading to a talk that Daniela Weiss is giving to a group of people.
Since they're sanctioned and being assisted by the IDF, the sanctions technically extend to the Israeli government. That's per the dude that was on Democracy Now! This morning. Yes. If there was like an actual real interest in applying international law to the situation, then yes, the Israeli government and even the American government would be liable for their actions. These guys are terrorists. What they're doing is settler terrorism. They are violently occupying a space that does not belong to them. And the obvious concept of like peaceful transfer of populations is not a real thing at all. And you see it in the West Bank every fucking day.
People who are potentially interested in resettling Gaza.
We are for the land of Israel and Ben-Gvir, she said.
No, they're not squatters. You want to know why they're not squatters? Because squatting is done on unoccupied land. Okay? This is not unoccupied land. You can squat in an abandoned building or a building that is empty or a house that is empty. When you actually, at gunpoint, through hate crimes and harassment backed by the occupying military force, by the way, and defended by the occupying military force, if you get pushed out of your home, kicked out of your home through violent means, through death, destruction of property, and then they come in and build a fucking shitty ass house on top of it and then live there, you're not actually squatting. What you're doing is settler colonialism. We did it in the United States of America, in the formation of the state that we exist in. We did this to the native populations that lived here before us.
About 20 people gather in the living room of a family home. Weiss knows that for many in this community, there is deep nostalgia for Gush Katif, a block of 21 Israeli settlements that were forcibly evacuated by.
Great question. A chatter said, how does an insignificant country like Israel manage to buy every American politician, yet China and Russia don't? Let's think. It goes back to exactly what I said with the NRA and with all lobbying groups and intentions. It goes back to the same principle behind you cannot lobby the American government to be anti-capitalist. The reason why this insignificant country that's not so insignificant can do this is because Israel, as a state, as a settler occupying entity in a resource-rich region, is very important for American geopolitical interest. That's why Joe Biden has said many, many years ago that if Israel did not exist, we'd build one. We'd make an Israel. Okay? This is why I laugh whenever people go like, oh, there's a Jewish conspiracy here at play. Especially in a country like the United States of America, where there is a shit ton more evangelical Christian Zionists than there are Jewish Zionists. Okay? Israel can only exist in the violent ways that it does because America wills it.
By the IDF in 2005 when Israel left the Gaza Strip. This is the vision of Gaza, she says. You see all the nucleus groups. A map has already been drawn up, with 6 groups laying claim to different parts of the enclave.
So they've just been handing out these little booklets that say, people of Israel, return home, and then underneath, a call to return to the settlements of Gaza.
One of the organizers tells the group they have a representative flying to Florida to raise money. Nahalal gets support from a number of groups in the U.S., including
Florida.
Americans for a Safe Israel.
Like that guy, when he flies to Florida, it's like having an ISIS dude. Okay? It's like having an ISIS dude fly to America to go and get money for ISIS. Okay? It's no different. It is absolutely no different. Okay? He should be arrested. The fuck are you doing? Like, oh, we gave sanctions to like 8 settlers in the West Bank. Sick, man. What about the 100,000 fucking settlers that live in the West Bank that have American passports? When that dude touches American ground, he should be arrested for funding, aiding, and abetting a terrorist group. This is why the concept of terrorism only applies to whoever the fuck we have decided in a very arbitrary manner is our enemy. Okay?
Which co-sponsored a recent webinar on the return to Gush Katif, even as the Biden administration has cracked down on settlements in the West Bank.
There is a very strong support from very prominent, from very, I would say, wealthy people, wealthy Jews.
In the U.S.?
In the U.S.
Can you name any names?
No, I cannot. No.
Back at her home in Kedumim settlement, Weiss tells us she's already enrolled 500 families.
I even have on my cell phone names of people who say, enlist me, enroll me, I want to join. I want to join the groups that are going to settle Gaza.
I have to ask you, though, because we're sitting here talking and we're listening to the
Yeah,
call
I'm listening
to
to
prayer.
it. I hope you are listening to it.
Which is a reminder, I think, of the people who live here, but also the people who live in Gaza. What happens to them in this vision of this new settlement with Jewish settlers even in Gaza City?
What I think about Gaza, the Arabs of Gaza lost the right to be in Gaza on the 7th of...
Okay. Again, no moral consistency here, but like you literally are a fucking settler terrorist. How does a person become like this? Very carefully. Okay? This argument literally can be applied to the entirety of Israel for the Nakba, for the record. It is not one that I subscribe to across the board, but it is certainly the exact same argument that some make. Ridiculous.
of October. Yes, I do hear the mosque. I do hear the prayer. Things were different until the 7th of October.
No, they weren't. You were still fucking operating. You're an opportunist who is utilizing the 7th of October to keep pushing your fucking bloodthirsty agenda.
By speaking about more than 2 million Arabs, they will not stay there. We, Jews, will be in Gaza.
That sounds like ethnic cleansing.
Okay.
That is ethnic cleansing, Clarissa.
The Arabs want to annihilate the state of Israel. So you can call them monsters. You can.
By the way, CNN had an article about this monster, and it was named "The Grandmother That Wants Israelis to Return to Gaza: Genocide Apology of Freaks."
You can call them cleansing of Jews. We are not.
It's always so funny. It's like pure projection. Literally pure projection packaged. It's like, hey, we're not doing ethnic cleansing right now. You know who actually wants to do ethnic cleansing? The Arabs, which we have to ethnically cleanse before they do ethnic cleansing to us. That is basically at the heart of every fucking ultra-Zionist arguments. It's so frustrating to have this conversation while tens of thousands of Palestinians have been ethnically cleansed. Millions have been forcibly displaced. Their homes turned to fucking dust. It's like, don't look at that. That's preemptive ethnic cleansing before we get ethnically cleansed.
Doing to them. They are doing.
It's pure fascism, by the way. Like, it's the, what do you think the fucking Nazi argument was? Like, straight up, what do you think they were saying? They had to justify it. They had to propagandize it. Existing anti-Semitic tendencies already were very prominent in Germany. Okay. But having said that, there were justifications for it. And these were the justifications. These were the exact same justifications. This is at the heart of every fascist movement. People, I think, like, because of our black, white, good, evil understanding of the world, people always want this comfortable narrative like, oh no, the Nazis were bad because they're bad. Yeah, they are bad. Except bad people also are obviously going to propagandize their position. Okay? This is why there are entire fields of study dedicated to genocide, specifically the Holocaust. Okay? To perfectly map out the exact steps that were taken to get an entire population on board with ethnic cleansing. I think people have a very oversimplified understanding of how this shit works. Like, oh yeah, the Nazis were bad. They're all bad, which they were. Okay. And that's it. They don't even think about like how they were able to push this narrative. Many of them genuinely fucking believed that if we don't ethnically cleanse the Jews, they're going to ethnically cleanse us. A modern version of this fascist argumentation exists in a contemporary American politics, as a matter of fact. Okay? Exact same terminology is still used and deployed by the reactionary right on a daily fucking basis. We don't say that Jews are deliberately trying to bring in immigrants into this country with open borders policies. Except when I say we don't say that, we do say that. Elon Musk did say that. He did actually say the great replacement is happening. So I guess we are kind of saying that now. Bro, I cannot understand how you can come on twitch.tv and be like, why does this sped still have a voice on this trash can platform? You're a sped. Are you on the spectrum? Yo, sped, please shut the fuck up. Like, you're on Twitch, brother. What the fuck are you? How are you going to do ableism on Twitch? Ableism from like, ableism that is like 2008 terminology too. Are you okay? Did you learn a new word? Did you learn a new word, little baby? Oh, big baby. He learned a big new word. How about you learn to read, dog? I like that he was like, let me confirm first. Are you on the spectrum? Fucking own, dude. He got me. Anyway. Literal child, go do your homework. I mean, I don't think this is, I think the saddest part is I don't know if this is a child. It's either a child that just learned sped as a new word and is like deploying it critically, like I deploy the top of the hour ad break, or this is a very old person who is from a time when people used to use sped. As you guys know, there is a, what is it, a treadmill of euphemisms and pejoratives. And it's no longer deployed. SPED is special education. Like he's saying, he's trying to, the euphemism treadmill, sorry. Shortened version of special education. He's trying to say the R word without saying the R word. SPED is a solid ableist slur. I use it from time to time, but it's only good funny when used in moderation. The key to using slurs is moderation, in my opinion. You don't have to admit that. Anyway. It is pretty funny, though. It is actually pretty funny to use it on Twitch. Like, bro, you are on Twitch. You are on Twitch using the term SPED. It's like the largest self-report of all time. Like, you have to have at least like, you have to be 4 levels deep in autism to even find this platform, be an active user of it, find the fucking political commentator on the platform to go type in his goddamn chat. You know what I mean? Like, who are you doing ableism to? Girl. Anyway. How come on now? Did nothing to catch strays here? I mean, there's nothing wrong with, you know, being autistic. It's just really funny to be on the platform of autism. To be like, you're freaking autistic, dog. It's like, yeah, okay. Like, what do you mean? This is a platform full of neurodivergency. You are most likely also neurodivergent. Anyway, I also did hit the 3-minute ad break button, but I segued it in so perfectly that many of you didn't even notice, by the way. So I'm going to rehash that real quick. At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free. Okay, you can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Here's the 3-minute ad break now.
To us, I couldn't make it clearer when I said that myself, as a person who is preoccupied with settling the land, until the 7th of October, I didn't have plans of returning to Gaza. It's clear. I'm not interested in cleansing.
What is clear is that Weiss's views, traditionally seen as extreme in Israel, have become more popular since October 7th. In late January, jubilant crowds packed an auditorium in Jerusalem for the Victory of Israel conference, calling for the resettlement of Gaza. A poll that month from the Jewish People Policy Institute found that 26% of Israelis advocate the reconstruction of the Gush Katif settlements after the war is over. Among supporters of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's right-wing coalition government, that number jumps to 51%. Several ministers were present at the conference, including far-right heritage minister Amihai Eliyahu.
God. Take it up with Hamas, buddy. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Is it like, just like this level of Israel defense immediately signals that you're the grossest piece of shit to me. And I don't know if it's like that people become ugly both inside and out as a consequence of this defense, or if they just like they're self-selecting. They're ugly inside and out, so they're like, this is my movement. Could you explain what this watermelon thing is? Pro-Palestine Twitter, but why watermelon symbology? The colors represent the Palestinian flag. It was a way to get around TikTok bans, allegedly. Personally, I think this is a conspiracy. When books are written about this era, these are the two people who will be vindicated. I'm just going to be really honest. It's hard to not be intensely resentful at Watermelon Twitter and the tsunami of bullshit, threats, and personal attacks that have been sent my way in the last 5 months. But valid anger does not necessarily lead to valid analysis. And I need to stop engaging so much on a subject that is increasingly non-productive. Oh my God, please stop engaging so much on a situation that you don't know anything about, that you're literally just trying to fucking play catch up with from the worst point. I know she's not going to stop. I'm pissed off and swinging back, and it's not going anywhere. When history books are written about this era, Palestine and this division is going to be understood to be the end of the cannibal progressive era of American politics. I see this clearly. Many of you don't yet, but in 5 years you will. I genuinely think that she's just basically saying that, you know, we are absolutely fucking moving towards fascism, and America will be like full tilt fascist. It's important to remember that it is likely that a lot of the social media activity is orchestrated, paid for, and fabricated by Iran, but a lot of it is real idiots falling for it too. I will continue to thank you for your tireless efforts. The last 5 months have been super hard for me. All of this so she get 2.5% when she runs for Congress again. October 7 did change American politics forever, but not for the reasons you think. Check. It exposed the rot of anti-Semitism that had been festering in leftist circles people like me had ignored. It showed who was more interested in burning down America than achieving leftist policy objectives. It showed which pundits actually understood complex geopolitical issues and who was misleading their audience. It showed that a terrifying number of leftist Americans will support literal terrorists if they target Jews. And it showed that while we will never agree with Republicans on deeply divisive cultural issues, their moderates are more committed to democracy than our extremists. So maybe we should try talking to them more. I can't even get mad at her. She's so fucking stupid. Like, this is a person that needs to have Post-it notes telling them to manually breathe, okay? Like, the level of stupidity is I think, more entertaining at this point than it is fucking frustrating. Why are we still reading Brianna Wu tweets? This is the definition of zero head. Brianna's content on Twitter now is just posting her death threat messages. It's odd, like she wants more. She low-key calling you out. Yeah, dude. It's one of those things where it's just so fucking stupid. It's one of those things that's so stupid that, like, I genuinely don't know how to respond to it. You know what I mean? 10-minute correct lecture on ableism that mocks people about Post-it notes and stupidity. What the fuck? Yes, dude. Obviously, ableism is wrong. Okay? But how the fuck am I supposed to say when someone is stupid? Like, what do you mean? That's insane, brother. When someone's dumb as fuck, you got to be able to call them out. You know what I mean?
Damn, this guy's good.